Hi, welcome back. All right. Okay. Right. So today we are going to continue from just now, the earlier sessions. If any one of you missed the 3 o'clock session, you can watch again on replay on YouTube for parts 1 and 3. And then now we are going into part 2, close tags. And then later, after we finish, maybe we might finish earlier. If everyone has no problems, maybe we'll finish earlier for part 2. And then we will continue at 8 o'clock at night for part 4, and then 9 o'clock for part 5. Okay, so I'm not going to waste time. Let's start. Hi, Sahara. Hi, Haslinda. Hi, everyone. Hi, Nisha. Okay, let's begin with part 2. Okay, now part 2, you're looking at your knowledge of English language, meaning when your teacher is teaching you a language awareness or you know it as grammar, that's when you need to pay attention to all the grammar rules and knowledge so that you'll be able to do this part well. Because there is a lot, I know English is a weird language. Some of the rules do not make sense, but it is English. So you need to understand the concept for you to be able to answer close tags well. So there are 10 10 blanks that you have to fill in with close. I'd like to share with you that I was never good at close tags when I was younger at your age. And it was difficult for me even when I went into university, because the reason was I never had teachers who explained to me how this is done. At that time, my teachers, English language teachers, would just expect me or any of the students to just know it. And then when I became a teacher myself, I realized that that's not true. Not everyone just know it. You need to make it clear, the strategies, make it clear to students how you actually see this. It's not easy. Hi, good evening, Haziq. It's not easy actually, because certain rules change with certain situation. It's not like one rule applies in every situation. And therefore, as usual, just like how you do your maths and science, is practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice make you understand better. Okay? All right. Now, thank you, Perkasa. Let's look at this. All right. The strategy for part 2. My focus when I teach any of my students in school or I go for seminars outside, I always teach strategy. The reason I teach strategy is this, my dear students. You can use this strategy at any levels, whether you are at low level up to you even finish school, you are in university, you are in college, when you have to do English proficiency, this strategy still applies. It does not only apply for SPM, it applies in any of your daily English things that you have to do in your assignment, whatever you do, because I have students who apply this even after they have left school. All right. So don't just learn for SPM, learn to understand the strategy so that you can do better no matter what level you are at. Okay. If you know me by now from my 3 o'clock session, you would know that the first important thing is read the instruction. Okay. Always read instruction. Instruction can change. All right. And then the second step is read the passage carefully. And then while reading, which is different from part 1 and part 3, is you have to circle the tense use because you want to identify also the subject and its verb in every sentence. You need to know whether the tense, the text is in the past, whether it's a present, whether it's talking about something that is going on, which will use a lot of continuous tense or progressive tense depending on what textbook you're using. And then you also need to know the subject and verb. If you understand one subject, how the verb, whether it is in a plural or singular, it's very, very important for you to know. All right. And then you have the third step, which is you have to identify what part of speech is missing in each cap. Now, if you do not know, it's fine. All right, you might wonder whether it's a noun, whether it's a verb, whether it's an adjective, whether it's an adverb, whether it's a preposition. And listening to the list, I've said, oh my God, I don't know grammar. It's fine. If you don't know, the part of the speech is fine. If you know, good. If you don't know, it's fine. It doesn't mean that you are going to not ace this part. You will ace even without the knowledge of what speech part it is, but you will do better if you do know it. All right, then you fill in the blanks with your own words. If you realize I like to ask you to fill in the blanks with your own words, answer in your own words. The reason is because if you are able to answer in your own words, you will be able to find the best or the closest answer to your answer. If you can't find your answer in your own words, meaning you did not understand. When you do not understand, therefore, you'll be guessing which answer would be for A, B, or C, or if there is D, D. So always try to answer in your own words. And then if you cannot, if the answers are not similar or not the same as yours, then you can choose the one that best, the best closest to you, the closest answer that you have, because usually that will be the right answer. And then you choose the best answer from the option based on your own answer. And then please read again, check and confirm. You always need to do that. Okay? Even if you are the best, even if you are the best in English, you know English, English is your mother tongue, you speak at home, does not necessarily mean the answer that you choose is the best or is correct. Always check and confirm, because you might realize that suddenly you mislook something, you didn't check properly something, and therefore you didn't get the correct answer. Thank you, Cikgu Sri Rahayu. Okay, now step 1, read the instruction. Read the text below and choose the best word for each space. For each question, mark the correct answer A, B, or C. It can be choose, it can be circle, it can be anything. All right. Then don't forget, you have to transfer your answer from your exam paper to the back part of your exam when you blacken it. Another tip, make sure if it's number 9, you mark it at number 9, you blacken it at number 9. Don't be overconfident, it's number 9, but you go and blacken it at number 10. Then that's where your answer, you get it wrong, and then you're going to be marked wrong. So be careful when you transfer from your question paper to the sheet right at the back. Okay? All right. Let's look. I always choose short and simple one. Even though yours is 10, I'm only going to do 3 with you, just to show you how to use the strategy. Okay? I believe in quality and not quantity. All right? You can do so many, but if you don't understand the strategy, you don't understand how to apply it, it's no point. It's better to do a little bit, but you understand and you apply it when you do the rest on your own. Okay, let's look at step 2. Read the passage carefully. While reading, underline or circle the tense. Use throughout the text and identify the subject and its verb in every sentence. As you can see, the tense, the verb to be has been underlined, which is the tense that tells me it is in the past, right? Like was cleaning, were preparing. Like here also, I forgot to underline, it was near, all right? And the staff were packing. Perhaps it was because of this mad rush. So I know this story, burglary at the museum, is in the past, the text in the past, all right? Now, the next thing I want to do is I need to identify the subject and its verb. So I'm looking at the subject, all right? Visitors, staff, okay? You have people. These are all the subjects or the nouns. Burglars, entrance, 2 men and a woman. And I want to look at the verb. So what are the verbs? Visitors were preparing. And you can see here, verb to be, verb. Visitors, you have as, were, correct. More than one, you need to use were. The staff, were. This one is looking at the staff as individual, many people were. All right, packing up and making. Okay, all right. It was because of this, many people were You see, when you do that, you know what is missing. Many people were preparing, staff were packing, were what to their surrounding. So you know it will be a verb. That's what I'm trying to explain. You know what is missing. A verb here is missing. And this was, okay, burglars. This one is an answer. My answer, sorry, no. Burglars chose, okay, chose. To show you the burglars more than one. This is the verb chose. This time to strike. Okay, burglars entered, ed, good. The entrance was briefly what? Entrance, you're talking about the entrance was briefly what? Okay, and two men and woman walked in unnoticed. These are the subject and the noun, and unnoticed. Nobody saw them walking in. This would be walk to be a verb. Okay, so you see this. You are actually analyzing it. How to look at the text, looking at what is missing, how the text has been done. Then you would identify this. You would actually have a better idea how to fill in the blanks. All right. I know some of you who are good in English, all you do is you see and you look at the choices of answer and straight away you put in the answer. Be careful. Analyze first before just choosing answer to make sure you choose the best answer. Now, all this can be done very quickly because when you read, you are underlining the tenses and also circling the subject and the verb at the same time. It's not you are doing one by one, which will take a long time. Okay, right. So now you already know you have to guess the word that could be used to fill in the gaps and using your own words. I have not shown you the options yet, but in real life, when you're doing your SPM, I know your options are there. Let's try without options. All right. Okay. So it was near. This one is given in the exam paper. It was near 0 because you are not answering yourself. Closing time and the crowd at the museum was thinning. The visitors were preparing to, you don't know what, but you can guess. And the stuff, because you know that it's closing time, the crowd was thinning. Thinning means getting less people in the museum. The crowd, visitors were preparing to, and the staff were packing up. The staff is already packing up because they also want to go home, right? And making the final rounds before closing. Making the final rounds means they are walking around, making the final round, walking around to make sure, everyone is supposed to be where they are supposed to be before they close. So for number 9, what do you think the best answer would be? Anyone want to share? Anyone wants to share what the answer for number 9 do you think would be? Leave, okay? All right, some guys say leave, thank you. Anyone else? No one else want to share what you think the answer would be? Visitors were preparing to leave, preparing to exit, thank you. Preparing to, only 2% answer, okay? So you have to answer there, leave and exit. Let's see what I wrote. Okay, I put leave, okay? But you might be right, exit, I don't know. This is my own answer and the staff were packing up. All right, thank you, Sateshwari. Okay, leave. And then perhaps it was because of this mad rush. Not many people were what to their surrounding. It must be a verb here. Many people were what to their surrounding because you're already preparing to leave, preparing to exit, and the staff were packing up and making the final rounds before closing. Alert. Some people, not many people were alert. Okay, alert. Aware. Alex says aware. Some guy says alert. Nizar says conscious. Good. I love all your answers. Good. Conscious to their surrounding. Okay. Wow, vigilant. You are talking about vigilant, not vigilant. Vigilant. Vigilant to their surrounding. And okay, good answers. There's a lot of answers. All right, to their surrounding. Let's see what I did. I put alert. Okay. It can be aware. All right. What else? Aware. All right. Okay. And this was also perhaps why the burglars chose this time to strike. Okay. The burglars entered just minutes before closing time. The entrance of the museum was briefly what? And two men and a woman walked in unnoticed. What best answer would have here? The entrance of the museum was briefly, and two men and woman walked in unnoticed. Unguarded, okay. All right, some guy was briefly unguarded, maybe. What else besides unguarded you can use? The entrance of the museum was briefly. The others all don't know. If you don't know, it's fine. You can leave it blank instead of cracking your head because it be meaning wasting of time. All right. And then if you look at the choices, then you will decide. Abandoned, okay. Was briefly abandoned. Yes, good. Right. So let's look at what I also wrote abandoned, Sri Rahayu. I also put abandoned. Okay, was briefly abandoned. Opened. The entrance was briefly opened. Yes, maybe Farhan. Maybe it was briefly opened. I don't know. Let's look at the choice of answer after this. Okay. So this is what you can do with 9 up to 18. 9 up to 18, right? Yeah, 9 up to 18, so that you more or less get an idea what the answers would be, because most of the time your answers might not be the one listed, but you can find the one nearest. Okay, you might find number 10 later when I show you number 10. Then will be some of you wondering what's going to happen now when I show you number 10 in a while. Okay, so this would be the choice, number 9, number 10, number 11. So you choose the best answer based on your own answer, right? So I already got number 9, leave. And you have someone who said exit, right? Then you say, wow, everything looks that they can be used. So how do you choose then? The visitors were preparing to go. No, go is not so good, go. We're preparing to exit. Exit, because somebody gave me an answer, right? Rahayu gave me the answer exit. We're preparing to exit. And then you have leave, which I put there, and then we're preparing to depart. Depart is not good to use. Depart is like when you want to leave, like in the airline, you want to depart. That's when you would use it better. So you left 2, exit and leave. Between exit and leave, now you have to decide which one will be better for this text. The visitors were preparing to exit or to leave. Yes, correct, Sri Rahayu. Exit is more suitable for emergency, but this is not an emergency. So the visitors were preparing to leave would be the best answer. Okay, so leave. That's how you have to make a choice. Then the next one, this is the one, I'm going to say that number 10, because you have people choosing alert, you have people choosing aware, you have people choosing a lot of answers. Cautious you have, but I don't have anybody with the word cautious. You have alert, you have you have aware, not aware, sorry, conscious, aware, vigilant. All right, aware got 2. Okay, so, and then you have cautious. Not many people were cautious. Cautious is not suitable to be used here. All right, and careful. Not many people were careful to their surrounding. Is even worse. Careful cannot use for this because it was a mad rush, and not many people were. I already put all the answers given. Oops. Oh, yeah, very good at end. Okay, so what would be the answer that would be better? The 2 answers I know. that all of you would want is either alert or aware. Now, what is the difference between alert and aware? Yes, exactly. Not many people were aware of, not to. Correct. So knowing your preposition, what is going on? Sorry. Knowing your preposition here is very important. Aware of, alert to. Cautious? Cautious, you don't use cautious to. Cautious? No, what's the preposition for cautious? Cautious of, is it? Or cautious with? Cautious of, careful with. All right, but careful you can't use. All right, you cannot be cautious on. Cautious on their surroundings sounds wrong. Okay, Nizar? I'm going to tell you preposition is a gut feeling because each preposition with each verb has different meaning. Okay? There are 150 prepositions for you to know. Okay? And it's not easy. Preposition is the hardest to teach because there's a lot of different usage for preposition. Okay, let's look at the last one. I know the abandon is here, but the answer is unattended. Did anybody choose unattended just now? Unguarded, yes. All right. So if you choose unguarded, like some guy chose unguarded, you know, you might be like wondering, okay, now I got unguarded. Srira, you know. Okay, you know why you cannot abandon an entrance of a museum? I also put abandon, but then I realized, even as a teacher, I put abandon, but I realized you don't abandon an entrance. You don't attend to the entrance because usually there's a guard there. Okay, you don't abandon it. You might not attend to it for a briefly. It was not attended to. Okay, and then these two men and women walked in unnoticed. You cannot use forgotten. You cannot use ignored. Was briefly ignored. Was briefly forgotten. Nobody would have forgotten. No, it's not really abandon. It's like abandon is leaving it. Like a child is being abandoned. A house is abandoned. Like it's for a long time, like you say, like it's long. You abandon is to leave it for a long time, but briefly unattended. Okay, not necessarily you can abandon a child. You can abandon a person. You can abandon anything. A building also can be abandoned. But for the when you have answers like that between abandoned and unattended, the best choice would be unattended instead of abandoned. Again, you will notice that number 9 to number 11, there are so many answers close by, usually two answers that are very close by. This is very difficult, especially those of you who are good in English. You would like, oh, I can choose two answers. Which one would be the best? You have to analyze and see which one would best fit in the text. I have no formula for that to say, oh, it's very easy. You just do this. You need to analyze like I have done. Okay, go through it, analyze it, and ask yourself, talk to yourself and say, okay, between abandoned and unattended, which would best fit for an entrance? Unattended would best fit for an entrance. You know, when someone you do not take care of the entrance, you don't abandon an entrance, you do not attend to it. Okay, even for number 10, alert and aware, knowing the preposition is very important. This one, when you have preposition, it helps. Okay, and then even leave and exit is the same thing. Need to know when to use exit, when to use leave. Right, that clear for everyone? I know it's short, it's very simple. Okay, I've done only 3. I didn't want to do more because last year I did everything. I did 10, and I think and I did the whole reading paper within 2 hours. I think everyone was very tired. Okay. All right. So now I'm doing it just part like this for you to understand. Does it help you with your understanding? Some guy will say yes. Okay. Some guy, every day you've been here already, some guy. I'm waiting for some girl. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to ask? Yes. Or some girl is here. Clear. Okay. I hope I've helped you. If at any point you don't remember, just visit again this YouTube and refresh. You can also send text or comments at the YouTube, not at the chat, at the YouTube, this YouTube part here. Part your comment. When I see it, I will answer you. All right. Thank you so much. If you have no questions, okay, so far I hope it's short, simple, straight to the point. Even though it's not until 6, I'm doing it just that. Yes. Okay. You're welcome, Sirahayu. All clear. Good. Okay, I hope I've helped you. Come and see me back at 8 o'clock for your favorite part of all, which is the gap. Information gap is your favorite. Okay, the gap tags. Okay. Oh, percent. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a nice evening before you come and see me. All right. Okay. Bye. Take care. Good luck.